Question 1. What battle in 1066 marked the beginning of Norman rule in England? A. The Battle of York. B. The Battle of Hastings. C. The Battle of London. D. The Battle of Winchester. Answer. B. The Battle of Hastings. The Battle of Hastings in 1066 marked the beginning of Norman rule in England, when William the Conqueror defeated the English army and King Harold II was killed. Question 2. Which document, signed in 1215, is known as the cornerstone of English liberty? A. The English Constitution. B. The Bill of Rights. C. The Magna Carta. D. The Royal Charter. Answer. C. The Magna Carta. Signed in 1215, the Magna Carta is known as the cornerstone of English liberty because it established the principle that everyone, including the king, was subject to the law. Question 3. Who was the English monarch at the time of the Spanish Armada in 1588? A. Queen Mary I. B. Queen Elizabeth I. C. King James I. D. King Charles I. Answer. B. Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I was the monarch during the Spanish Armada in 1588, which was a failed attempt by Spain to invade England. Question 4. Describe the significance of the Glorious Revolution of 1688. A. It restored Catholicism as the state religion. B. It solidified the power of the monarchy. C. It established parliamentary sovereignty over the monarchy. D. It led to the American Revolution. Answer. C. It established parliamentary sovereignty over the monarchy. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 was significant because it established the constitutional monarchy in Britain, confirming parliamentary sovereignty over the monarchy. Question 5. What was the outcome of the Acts of Union 1707? A. The formal unification of Scotland and England into Great Britain. B. The separation of Ireland from Great Britain. C. The establishment of separate parliaments for Scotland and England. D. The dissolution of the Welsh Parliament. Answer. A. The formal unification of Scotland and England into Great Britain. The Acts of Union 1707 merged the Scottish and English parliaments, creating the Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 6. Which British agricultural innovation in the 18th century had a profound effect on farming practices? A. The invention of the seed drill. B. The introduction of the plough. C. The development of chemical fertilizers. D. The use of steam engines. Answer. A. The invention of the seed drill. The seed drill, invented by Jethro Tull, revolutionized farming practices by planting seeds in well-spaced rows at specific depths. This increased crop yields and efficiency. Question 7. What was the primary cause of the English Civil War in the 17th century? A. Religious differences. B. Economic crisis. C. Disputes over colonial territories. D. Political power struggle between the monarchy and parliament. Answer. D. Political power struggle between the monarchy and parliament. The primary cause of the English Civil War was the ongoing power struggle between the monarchy and parliament over governance and authority. Question 8. During which conflict was the Battle of Trafalgar fought, and who was the victorious British admiral? A. The 7 Years' War, Admiral Edward Hawke. B. The Napoleonic Wars, Admiral Horatio Nelson. C. The Anglo-Spanish War, Admiral Francis Drake. D. World War I, Admiral John Jellicoe. Answer. B. The Napoleonic Wars, Admiral Horatio Nelson. The Battle of Trafalgar was fought during the Napoleonic Wars, and the victorious British admiral was Horatio Nelson, who secured British naval supremacy. Question 9. What major constitutional change occurred with the Reform Act of 1832? A. It abolished the monarchy. B. It granted universal suffrage. C. It expanded the electoral franchise and reformed the electoral system. D. It separated the church from the state. Answer: C. It expanded the electoral franchise and reformed the electoral system. The Reform Act of 1832 widened the electoral franchise to more men and reformed the electoral system to make it more representative. Question 10. Which Queen's reign marked the height of the British Empire? A. Queen Victoria. B. Queen Elizabeth I. C. Queen Mary II. D. Queen Anne. Answer: A. Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria's reign marked the height of the British Empire, during which time it became the largest empire in history and a global power. Question 11. What was the primary goal of the Chartists in the 19th century? A. To abolish the monarchy. B. To secure voting rights for all men. C. To promote free trade. D. To outlaw child labour. Answer: B. To secure voting rights for all men. The Chartists were a working-class movement that aimed to achieve political reforms, including securing voting rights for all men. Question 12. When did women in the UK first gain the right to vote? A. 1928. B. 1918. C. 1898. D. 1938. Answer: B. 1918. Women in the UK first gained the right to vote in 1918, though initially it was limited to those over the age of 30. Question 13. What treaty ended the First World War for Britain? A. The Treaty of Versailles. B. The Treaty of Paris. C. The Treaty of London. D. The Treaty of Brussels. Answer: A. The Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 ended the First World War for Britain and its allies and imposed significant penalties on Germany. Question 14. In which year did the National Health Service begin operations? A. 1948. B. 1958. C. 1938. D. 1968. Answer: A. 1948. The National Health Service, NHS, in the UK began operations in 1948, providing healthcare services funded by taxation. Question 15. What event led to widespread decolonisation after World War II? A. The Suez Crisis. B. The establishment of the United Nations. C. Economic pressures and rising nationalist movements in the colonies. D. The Cold War. Answer: C. Economic pressures and rising nationalist movements in the colonies. After World War II, widespread decolonisation was prompted by economic difficulties and the rise of nationalist movements within the colonies. Question 16. Who was the longest-serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century? A. Winston Churchill. B. Margaret Thatcher. C. Harold Wilson. D. Tony Blair. Answer: B. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was the longest-serving British Prime Minister of the 20th century, holding office from 1979 to 1990. Question 17. What major social reform did the Beveridge Report lead to after World War II? A. The establishment of the welfare state. B. The privatization of major industries. C. The deregulation of the financial sector. D. The abolition of the healthcare system. Answer A. The establishment of the welfare state. The Beveridge Report led to major social reforms, including the establishment of the welfare state and the founding of the National Health Service. Question 18. What was the significance of the Battle of Britain in 1940? A. It marked the first British defeat in World War II. B. It was the first all-air battle and marked a turning point, with Britain preventing a German invasion. C. It resulted in Britain gaining territory in Europe. D. It had little impact on the outcome of World War II. Answer B. It was the first all-air battle and marked a turning point, with Britain preventing a German invasion. The Battle of Britain in 1940 was crucial in maintaining British independence during World War II. Question 19. Who was the British monarch during the Victorian era, and what is one notable achievement from that period? A. Queen Victoria, expansion of the British Empire. B. Queen Elizabeth I, defeat of the Spanish Armada. C. King Edward VII, establishment of the welfare state. D. King George III, loss of the American colonies. Answer A. Queen Victoria, expansion of the British Empire. Queen Victoria, who reigned during the Victorian era, oversaw a period of industrial expansion, cultural development, and the expansion of the British Empire. Question 20. What was the purpose of the Magna Carta in 1215? A. To declare war on France. B. To expand the rights of the monarchy. C. To limit the powers of the king and protect the rights of the nobility. D. To establish the Church of England. Answer C. To limit the powers of the king and protect the rights of the nobility. The Magna Carta was a landmark document signed in 1215 that limited the powers of the king and laid the foundation for modern democracy by upholding the rights of the nobility. Question 21. Which conflict led to the creation of the United Nations, in which Britain was a founding member? A. World War I. B. World War II. C. The Korean War. D. The Cold War. Answer B. World War II. The creation of the United Nations was a result of World War II, and Britain was a founding member aiming to promote international peace and security. Question 22. Who was the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. Theresa May. C. Angela Merkel. D. Indira Gandhi. Answer A. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, serving from 1979 to 1990, known for her conservative policies and strong leadership style. Question 23. What was the impact of the Industrial Revolution on British society? A. It decreased urbanization. B. It led to a decline in manufacturing. C. It caused a significant increase in economic growth and urbanization. D. It reduced the influence of Britain globally. Answer C. It caused a significant increase in economic growth and urbanization. The Industrial Revolution, which began in Britain, had a profound impact on society, drastically increasing economic growth and accelerating urbanization. Question 24. When did the Great Fire of London occur and what was its impact? A. 1666, led to major rebuilding of the city. B. 1566, minimally affected the cityscape. C. 1766, resulted in significant loss of life. D. 1866, spurred advancements in firefighting techniques. Answer A. 1666 led to major rebuilding of the city. The Great Fire of London in 1666 destroyed a large part of the city, leading to its subsequent major rebuilding with improved building codes. Question 25. What event marked the end of British rule in India? A. The passage of the India Act. B. The Salt March. C. The Indian Independence Act of 1947. D. The establishment of the Commonwealth. Answer C. The Indian Independence Act of 1947. This act marked the end of British rule in India and the partition of India into two independent dominions, India and Pakistan. Question 26. Describe the primary effects of the Black Death on medieval England. A. It led to population growth and economic prosperity. B. It caused widespread death and significant labour shortages, leading to social and economic changes. C. It had minimal impact on the population and economy. D. It improved health standards by prompting medical advancements. Answer B. It caused widespread death and significant labour shortages, leading to social and economic changes. The Black Death drastically reduced the population, which led to labour shortages and subsequently higher wages for workers and social mobility. Question 27. What historical event is commemorated by Guy Fawkes Night? A. The restoration of the monarchy. B. The signing of the Magna Carta. C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. D. The end of the English Civil War. Answer C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Guy Fawkes Night, or Bonfire Night, is celebrated on November 5th to commemorate the foiling of the Gunpowder Plot, in which Guy Fawkes and other conspirators attempted to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Question 28. What was the purpose of the Statute of Rhuddlan in 1284? A. To declare war on Wales. B. To annex Wales into the Kingdom of England. C. To establish religious freedom in Wales. D. To promote trade between Wales and England. Answer B. To annex Wales into the Kingdom of England. The Statute of Rhuddlan in 1284 was enacted to incorporate the land of Wales into the Kingdom of England, establishing English rule over Wales. Question 29. How did the Enclosure Acts impact the British agricultural landscape? A. They decreased the amount of cultivated land. B. They redistributed land to create more public parks. C. They consolidated land into larger farms, increasing efficiency but displacing many rural dwellers. D. They had no significant impact on agriculture. Answer C. They consolidated land into larger farms, increasing efficiency but displacing many rural dwellers. The Enclosure Acts allowed for the privatization and consolidation of land, leading to more efficient farming but also causing social upheaval as many small farmers were displaced. Question 30. What was the significance of the Battle of Agincourt in 1415? A. It marked the end of the 100 Years' War. B. It was a major victory for English forces during the 100 Years' War. C. It resulted in the capture of the French crown by English forces. D. It had little impact on the course of English history. Answer B. It was a major victory for English forces during the 100 Years' War. The Battle of Agincourt in 1415 is famous for the use of the English longbow and the significant defeat of a numerically superior French army. Question 31. Which laws governed British colonial expansion and trade in the 17th and 18th centuries? A. The Navigation Acts. B. The Laws of Settlement. C. The Acts of Union. D. The Colonial Charters. Answer A. The Navigation Acts. These were a series of laws that restricted the use of foreign ships for trade between Britain and its colonies, aimed at promoting British maritime commerce. Question 32. What was the main cause of the peasants' revolt in 1381? A. Religious reforms imposed by the Church. B. A succession crisis in the monarchy. C. Economic hardships and unfair poll taxes. D. Military conscription practices. Answer C. Economic hardships and unfair poll taxes. The peasants' revolt was primarily caused by socio-economic strife, notably due to harsh poll taxes imposed on the lower classes, leading to widespread rebellion. Question 33. Who was the British leader during the signing of the Treaty of Maastricht? A. Margaret Thatcher. B. John Major. C. Tony Blair. D. Gordon Brown. Answer B. John Major. John Major was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during the signing of the Treaty of Maastricht in 1992, which furthered European integration and led to the creation of the European Union. Question 34. Which British scientist is credited with formulating the laws of motion? A. Charles Darwin. B. Isaac Newton. C. Michael Faraday. D. Stephen Hawking. Answer B. Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton is renowned for formulating the laws of motion, which are fundamental to the study of physics and helped pave the way for modern engineering and science. Question 35. What was the social impact of the First and Second Reform Acts? A. They restricted voting rights to a small elite. B. They expanded voting rights, leading to broader public participation in politics. C. They abolished the monarchy and established a republic. D. They led to the secession of Scotland from the United Kingdom. Answer B. They expanded voting rights, leading to broader public participation in politics. The first, 1832, and second, 1867, Reform Acts were significant in British history for expanding the electoral franchise to more segments of the population, thereby increasing democratic participation. Question 36. How did the War Acts affect the British and colonial economies? A. They promoted wool production in the colonies. B. They restricted the export of wool from the colonies to Britain. C. They banned the export of wool from Britain to anywhere in the world. D. They encouraged the import of wool from the colonies. Answer B. They restricted the export of wool from the colonies to Britain. The War Acts were part of the mercantilist policies adopted by Britain to control the wool trade and ensure that the colonies remained economically dependent by restricting them from exporting wool to markets other than Britain. Question 37. What role did Britain play in the abolition of the slave trade globally? A. It was the last major country to abolish slavery. B. It led the efforts to abolish the slave trade internationally. C. It opposed abolition movements. D. It played a minor role compared to other European nations. Answer B. It led the efforts to abolish the slave trade internationally. Britain was a leading force in the global movement to abolish the slave trade, spearheading initiatives such as the Slave Trade Act of 1807 and actively enforcing anti-slavery policies internationally. Question 38. Describe the contribution of British explorers to maritime navigation. A. British explorers made no significant contributions to maritime navigation. B. They primarily focused on land exploration. C. They played a key role in developing navigational techniques and exploring unknown territories. D. They restricted their activities to the coastal waters of Britain. Answer: C. They played a key role in developing navigational techniques and exploring unknown territories. British explorers, such as James Cook, were instrumental in advancing maritime navigation and mapping uncharted territories, significantly contributing to the age of exploration. Question 39. What significant changes were made to the British Constitution after the Bill of Rights in 1689? A. It confirmed the divine right of kings. B. It established the principle of parliamentary sovereignty and limited the powers of the monarch. C. It abolished the Parliament. D. It made the Church of England the only legal religious institution. Answer: B. It established the principle of parliamentary sovereignty and limited the powers of the monarch. The Bill of Rights in 1689 was a landmark document in British constitutional law, establishing the supremacy of Parliament over the monarchy and laying the groundwork for a constitutional monarchy. Question 40. Who were the primary combatants in the Wars of the Roses? A. The House of Lancaster and the House of York. B. The House of Windsor and the House of Stuart. C. The House of Tudor and the House of Hanover. D. The House of Plantagenet and the House of Normandy. Answer: A. The House of Lancaster and the House of York. The Wars of the Roses were a series of dynastic conflicts fought between the House of Lancaster and the House of York, both branches of the royal House of Plantagenet. Question 41. What was the impact of the English Reformation on European politics? A. It isolated Britain from continental Europe. B. It led to widespread adoption of Protestantism across Europe. C. It contributed to the series of religious conflicts known as the Wars of Religion. D. It had little impact outside of England. Answer: C. It contributed to the series of religious conflicts known as the Wars of Religion. The English Reformation, which saw England break away from the Roman Catholic Church, influenced religious and political dynamics across Europe, contributing to conflicts like the 30 Years' War. Question 42. How did the Great Depression affect the United Kingdom? A. It caused minimal economic disruption. B. It led to significant industrial growth. C. It resulted in widespread unemployment and economic hardship. D. It improved the financial markets. Answer: C. It resulted in widespread unemployment and economic hardship. The Great Depression, starting in 1929, severely impacted economies worldwide, including the UK, leading to high unemployment rates and widespread economic difficulties. Question 43. What was the British government's response to the Irish famine? A. Comprehensive relief efforts that ended the famine. B. Limited intervention, criticised for being inadequate. C. Immediate food subsidies and agricultural programs. D. Complete denial of the famine's existence. Answer: B. Limited intervention, criticised for being inadequate. The British government's response to the Irish famine in the mid-19th century was widely regarded as insufficient and ineffective, exacerbating the severity of the famine. Question 44. How did the Battle of Waterloo in 1815 shape European politics? A. It led to the expansion of the Napoleonic Empire. B. It marked the end of Napoleon's rule and led to a period of relative peace in Europe. C. It initiated a series of revolutions across the continent. D. It had little impact on European politics. Answer: B. It marked the end of Napoleon's rule and led to a period of relative peace in Europe. The Battle of Waterloo was a decisive battle that ended Napoleon Bonaparte's rule, leading to the Congress of Vienna and a balance of power that aimed for stability in Europe. Question 45. Which event led to the imposition of the exclusion crisis in the 1670s? A. The Popish Plot. B. The Glorious Revolution. C. The signing of the Magna Carta. D. The Gunpowder Plot. Answer A. The Popish Plot, the exclusion crisis, which sought to exclude the Catholic Duke of York, later James II, from the throne, was largely influenced by fears of Catholic conspiracy and absolutism, exacerbated by the fabricated Popish Plot. Question 46. What was the significance of the Education Act of 1944? A. It mandated religious education in schools. B. It abolished public education. C. It introduced the modern state education system in England and Wales, providing free secondary education. D. It segregated educational institutions. Answer C. It introduced the modern state education system in England and Wales, providing free secondary education. The Education Act of 1944, also known as the Butler Act, was a significant reform that established a free and compulsory secondary education for all children in England and Wales. Question 47. Describe the changes brought about by the Winter of Discontent in the late 1970s. A. It led to significant improvements in labour laws. B. It resulted in widespread industrial action and strikes, highlighting the need for economic reform. C. It spurred a period of industrial peace and economic growth. D. It had little impact on British politics or society. Answer B. It resulted in widespread industrial action and strikes, highlighting the need for economic reform. The Winter of Discontent involved severe public sector strikes during the winter of 1978 to 1979, driven by disputes over pay, which significantly influenced public opinion and political changes. Question 48. What major public health advancement occurred in London in the 19th century? A. The introduction of the cholera vaccine. B. The establishment of the National Health Service. C. The development of the modern sewer system by Joseph Bazalgette. D. The ban on smoking in public places. Answer C. The development of the modern sewer system by Joseph Bazalgette. In response to the Great Stink of 1858 and recurrent cholera outbreaks, Joseph Bazalgette designed and implemented a comprehensive sewer system for London, dramatically improving the city's sanitation and public health. Question 49. When was the Commonwealth of Nations formally constituted? A. 1949. B. 1919. C. 1926. D. 1931. Answer A. 1949. The Commonwealth of Nations was formally constituted in 1949, following the London Declaration that recognised the independence of the member countries but shared a common allegiance to the British Crown. Question 50. What was the impact of the Corn Laws on British agricultural and industrial sectors? A. They stimulated industrial growth by lowering grain prices. B. They hindered agricultural development by imposing high tariffs. C. They protected British agriculture but caused food prices to rise, leading to widespread discontent. D. They had no significant impact on the economy. Answer C. They protected British agriculture but caused food prices to rise, leading to widespread discontent. The Corn Laws, enacted in the early 19th century, were designed to protect British agriculture by imposing tariffs on imported grain, which led to higher food prices and hardship among the working classes, contributing to their eventual repeal in 1846. Question 51. How did the Suez Crisis of 1956 affect Britain's international standing? A. It enhanced Britain's reputation as a global power. B. It had no effect on Britain's international relations. C. It led to a temporary increase in oil prices. D. It damaged Britain's reputation and marked the decline of its influence as a global power. Answer: D. It damaged Britain's reputation and marked the decline of its influence as a global power. The Suez Crisis, resulting from the failed attempt by Britain, France, and Israel to seize control of the Suez Canal, significantly weakened Britain's international standing and highlighted its reduced role in global politics. Question 52. What was the main outcome of the Jacobite rebellions? A. The establishment of parliamentary democracy in Scotland. B. The reinforcement of the Hanoverian succession and the decline of the Jacobite cause. C. The independence of Scotland. D. The abolition of the Scottish Parliament. Answer: B. The reinforcement of the Hanoverian succession and the decline of the Jacobite cause. The Jacobite rebellions, particularly the last significant one in 1745, ended in failure, which reinforced the Hanoverian succession to the British throne and led to the decline of the Jacobite cause. Question 53. Describe the purpose and outcome of the Poor Law Amendment Act of 1834. A. It aimed to improve the conditions of the poor by providing more generous relief. B. It sought to reduce the cost of looking after the poor as it ended outdoor relief, leading to the creation of workhouses. C. It abolished all forms of poor relief. D. It expanded eligibility for poor relief to all citizens. Answer: B. It sought to reduce the cost of looking after the poor as it ended outdoor relief, leading to the creation of workhouses. The Poor Law Amendment Act of 1834 was designed to reduce the cost of poor relief and deter reliance on state assistance by making conditions in workhouses intentionally harsh. Question 54. What role did Britain have in the creation of the State of Israel? A. It led the military campaign that established Israel. B. It opposed the creation of Israel. C. It managed the Mandate of Palestine and later supported the partition plan that led to the creation of Israel. D. It provided economic support, but no political backing. Answer: C. It managed the Mandate of Palestine and later supported the partition plan that led to the creation of Israel. Britain held the Mandate for Palestine from 1920 until 1948 and played a complex role in the lead-up to the establishment of the State of Israel through its support of the UN partition plan. Question 55. How did the British government address the issue of suffrage in the early 20th century? A. By granting voting rights to all men and women over the age of 21. B. By extending voting rights to women aged 30 and over in 1918, and later to all adults over 21 in 1928. C. By restricting voting rights. D. By ignoring calls for suffrage expansion. Answer: B. By extending voting rights to women aged 30 and over in 1918, and later to all adults over 21 in 1928. The British government progressively addressed the issue of suffrage by first extending voting rights to women over 30 in 1918 and later equalising the voting age for men and women at 21 in the Representation of the People Act 1928. Question 56. What was the significance of the Falklands War in British military history? A. It was a minor conflict with no significant outcomes. B. It resulted in a significant loss of territory for Britain. C. It was a decisive military victory that helped to reaffirm Britain's naval capabilities and international standing. D. It led to the abolition of the monarchy. Answer: C. It was a decisive military victory that helped to reaffirm Britain's naval capabilities and international standing. The Falklands War in 1982 between Britain and Argentina over the disputed Falkland Islands resulted in a British victory, which bolstered national pride and confirmed the country's military capabilities. Question 57. How did British literature reflect societal changes during the 19th century? A. It became less popular and was overshadowed by European literature. B. It focused only on historical events with no reflection on contemporary society. C. It often criticized industrialization and explored themes of social reform and morality, exemplified by authors like Charles Dickens. D. It remained stagnant and unchanged despite societal shifts. Answer: C. It often criticized industrialization and explored themes of social reform and morality, exemplified by authors like Charles Dickens. British literature in the 19th century was profoundly influenced by societal changes, with many authors addressing issues of poverty, industrialization, and class disparity. Question 58. What were the economic impacts of British railroads in the 19th century? A. They had little impact on the economy and were primarily military assets. B. They led to decreased trade and economic isolation. C. They significantly boosted economic growth by facilitating trade and mobility. D. They caused widespread financial crises due to high costs. Answer: C. They significantly boosted economic growth by facilitating trade and mobility. The development of railroads in the 19th century was transformative for the British economy, enabling faster movement of goods and people, which greatly contributed to economic expansion and industrialization. Question 59. How did the Battle of Somme affect British military tactics during World War I? A. It led to the immediate end of the war. B. It resulted in no changes. Tactics remained static throughout the war. C. It highlighted the need for new tactics, leading to increased use of tank warfare and less emphasis on trench warfare. D. It reinforced the effectiveness of traditional combat strategies. Answer: C. It highlighted the need for new tactics, leading to increased use of tank warfare and less emphasis on trench warfare. The Battle of the Somme was one of the bloodiest battles of World War I and demonstrated the high human cost of trench warfare, prompting military leaders to innovate and develop new strategies like the increased use of tanks. Question 60. What was the impact of the Gunpowder Plot on British governmental policies? A. It had no impact on governmental policies. B. It led to stricter control and surveillance of Catholic populations in England. C. It resulted in greater religious freedom for Catholics. D. It diminished the power of the monarchy. Answer: B. It led to stricter control and surveillance of Catholic populations in England. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605, an attempted assassination of King James I by Catholic conspirators, led to harsher measures against Catholics, including increased surveillance and restrictions aimed at preventing similar threats.